Welcome to the Bush League Huddle Fantasy Football Podcast, your main resource for 2QB fantasy insights, smart bets, and winning props. Hosted by Fab, Knack, and Raj.
I love it. I love the intro. Here we go. Here we go. Super Bowl Bonanza episode. Here we go. Super Bowl 59 is here. Guys, the season flew by. There's already just one game left. And honestly, I was reflecting a little bit today, and I'm just so happy to have gone through this journey with obviously all of our listeners, all of our fans, but especially with you, Roger, with you, Knack, our little podcast over here and what we've accomplished so far. So just want to give a little shout out to us, a little two clap and a Ric Flair. Woo! There it is. There it is. We gotta be proud of ourselves. We made it throughout the entire season, and this has been one for the memory books for sure. But guys, this is it. I mean, this is the one we've all been waiting for. This is the bowl of all the bowls. We are here to preview the Super Bowl. We did it. The Chiefs face off versus the Eagles in the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Narlands.
The Eagles are the home team, and this is New Orleans. The Eagles are home team, and this is a rematch of Super Bowl 57, where the Chiefs beat the Eagles 38-35 to begin their quest for the three-peat. But will they do it again? We're going to find out on Sunday. But real quick, just want to shout out to all of our social medias. Guys, if you like our content, please find us on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. All of our videos are there. All of our shorts are there. We interact with content and we engage with all of our fans even throughout the off season. So don't be shy to hit us up with any questions and any comments. We're always there to help you guys out no matter what. And before we do jump into the keys to the game, I want to lay the land a little bit. I want to bring up some potential Super Bowl superstitions that our listeners may or may not be aware of. One in particular, I mean, I'd be remiss, quite frankly, if we didn't mention Little Miss Taylor Swift and the Taylor Swift effect that she's had on the Chiefs throughout like it's years now. Like, do you guys know that they've gone 9-0 this year with her in attendance? The Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, have been perfectly undefeated with her in attendance. And on top of that, you go back to December 31st, 2023, the Chiefs have won 14 straight with Taylor Swift in attendance. How ridiculous of a statistic is that? I read that up and I couldn't believe it.
Respect her.
Is it the same record when Brittany Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes are in attendance?
I think I would love to know the record of the Chiefs when Jackson Mahomes has a TikTok.
They win. They're 15-2 this year. It's pretty. Yeah, I'm sure it was the same record whether they were there or not. Brittany, I'm sure, is there at every single game, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Also, on Feb 9th, on this Sunday, when the Super Bowl does take place, we got two birthday boys celebrating their birthday, Saquon Barkley and Cooper DeJean. So, maybe they're going to be playing with a little bit extra oomph on Sunday. We'll see. And
well done there, Fab. Well done.
Thank you. 2 for 2 on the Cooper DeJeans. And this one, Brady calling the game. Pat Mahomes is winless versus Tom Brady in the playoffs. Will Tom Brady use his witchcraft and curse Pat Mahomes to stop him from getting his third straight Super Bowl and ousting him and putting him firmly in the conversation of the greatest of all time, who today, I think Stephen A. Smith came out and said it, that he's the GOAT, Pat Mahomes, if he wins 3 in a row. I don't know if I agree with that.
We don't need to. It doesn't matter what Stephen A. Smith says.
No, the majority of what he says is just fodder anyways. But so those...
Man, he'd be pretty close, close second there. Very, very close second. 4 before the age of 30 or even 29. And with really no end in sight, so far. I don't know. That would be, I think he would be, I thought for sure that he wouldn't catch Brady because of the one Brady beat him in. And that, I thought that was the deciding factor. But man, the way they're going, he could easily get to 7 and more.
Yeah, especially when they have the coaching staff that is arguably the best defensive coordinator in the game right now and Steve Spagnuolo, and you have Andy Reid, and those guys are probably not going anywhere in the short term or not even the long term. Like, why would they really? You know what I mean? So, it's he's definitely second, and strong argument to definitely take over Brady as the GOAT all time. I think, without a doubt. But we're gonna table that conversation for once everything is all said and done in the Super Bowl. We're gonna jump right into keys to the game on how we think this game is going to go down. So the pick right now, so this line moved actually. I did update the show notes before we started. This line moved to the Chiefs are being favored by 1 point, and the over under as well is now 48.5. It was 49.5. But I'm going to pass over the mic to you, Nak. I want to get your ideas and your thoughts on what the keys to the game are.
That's crazy. It took like a week, almost a week and a half for the line to change and only half a point. Pretty crazy. So my keys to the game for the Chiefs is going to be to pressure Jalen Hurts and force him to make mistakes. That's where I feel like he's the most vulnerable. Obviously, stopping the run. That's, I think, first and foremost is stopping Saquon Barkley. The Chiefs haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher all season, so I think that's what's going to be their focal point for sure. Getting Kelce involved early to set the tone. I believe they have done so in the last 2 Super Bowls. He's made the first catch of the game in each of the last 2 Super Bowls, so I think getting him involved early and also getting the ball in Worthy's hands, man. That Eagles defense is really, really, really tough. They play really, really well on the outsides, especially with Cooper DeJean and now I'm drawing a blank. What's his name? Quinyon Mitchell, exactly. So just finding ways to kind of get Worthy the ball, end arounds, short screens, stuff like that, I think is going to go a long way. And then for the Eagles, I think don't get away from Saquon Barkley if he's stuffed early. I think they have to stay with him no matter what. He's been the workhorse of the team, so I would not stop now. Be strategic with your blitzing. We all know how good Mahomes is at picking up a blitz, so you can't be blitzing him all night because he will pick you apart. And I think Hurts has to play another perfect game. I mean, he did do that, arguably 2 years ago in the Super Bowl and has played outstanding in these playoffs. But I think it's going to take another lights out performance for them to have any shot. And then it's going to be really also containing Patrick Mahomes. So not letting him be Patrick Mahomes and, scamper for those first downs and whatnot. You're not going to stop him totally, but just try to contain him as much as possible.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. Roger, I'm going to let you go before I jump in.
I wrote the same thing, Nak, about Hurts is how he will fare against the blitz. So in Super Bowl 57, Hurts was blitzed in 43% of his dropbacks. He was 13 of 18 with a 90 PFF grade, no turnover-worthy plays. And we've been talking about it in this pod is over the past few weeks during the playoffs, like he's been really good with regards to the blitz. He was 7 of 13, 116 yards against Washington. So I think he's been fantastic so far. That was probably my main key for the Eagles. In terms of the Chiefs, in relation to the Eagles defense, how will the Eagles handle the Chiefs yards after catch? So the Chiefs were 3rd in the league in yards after catch. And we know how much Worthy has been a big impact on that front over the past couple of games. Obviously, the pass catchers out of the backfield as well. The Eagles are, you mentioned it, Nak, the defense, they pursue towards the ball. If you look at the defense in Super Bowl 57 towards the defense now, the only holdovers were Darius Slay and CJGJ. Now, again, there's Mitchell, there's DeJean, there's Bond, there's the front 4. I think that the yards after catch aspect is going to be, which is a key for the Chiefs, is going to be, I think the Eagles are going to be able to heavily keen in on that because there's so many defensive playmakers for the Eagles. And like you said, Saquon Barkley, as much as Mahomes will get his, Saquon Barkley is going to have to own this game and take over the tempo of this game, and fully agree that they can't go away from him, and the Eagles have shown that they typically don't. So
yeah,
the whole Saquon Barkley thing at Nike, you hit on it. Obviously, the Chiefs are going to be focusing on stopping Saquon Barkley. The bigger thing, in my opinion, is stopping those home run hits that he has. Right, like I think Green Bay did a very good job of that. As much as possible up until the very end where he had that long run and he ended up stopping right towards the end. But they were the only team so far in the playoffs that were able to limit Saquon Barkley, and he still ran for like 112 yards. So that's kind of says the type of player that he is. If the Chiefs somehow manage to stop him from hitting those 40-yard runs, those 60-yard runs, I think that's going to be the biggest factor for them to actually win the game. But I fully agree with Hurts. Might have to put the team on his back though over here. It's going to need a perfect game, and Mahomes, when he scrambles, he's ranked first out of all the QBs at a scramble rate, and he converts 51% of his scrambles into either a new set of downs or a touchdown.
He's insane.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So even if he scrambles, it's like, even if you put pressure on the guy and he scrambles, you got to keep him scrambling in the pocket, which is like ridiculous to do. So no, it's going to be a super big test for both teams, obviously. And I think the Eagles really have their work cut out for them. But Raj, they got that D line, and I think Brandon Graham is coming back this game, which will not necessarily move the needle, but at the same time, it's going to add another player that's going to provide depth and going to be fresh off the edge whenever they do have to sub him in and all that stuff. So it's going to be constant pressure on the D line. It's going to make the biggest difference for the Eagles, I think.
Yeah, I wonder how much he plays after being gone since November. I know that like they say he's healthy and obviously he's been practicing and stuff, but I'd be curious to see how much they actually put him in there in, the Super Bowl. It sounds like you're coming back regular season game. This is, for all the marbles, and if he struggles early, he may not see as much playing time as people think.
Probably situational pass rush, I would think.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, you just last game of the season might as well.
No, I don't disagree. One thing I do want to make note, though, I know we mentioned that the Eagles are the home team and Chiefs are the away team. And there's an unfortunate stat that I don't like that I still have to bring up. I feel like the Chiefs are away. They're going to be wearing the white jerseys. We all know the teams wearing white have a 64% win rate when it comes to Super Bowls. And recently, specifically, it's even more dominant. Since 2005, 16 out of 20 champions have worn white.
It's crazy.
It's such a I don't like that stat. Obviously, it rings true for clearly more often than not, right? 16 out of 20 times, but you just hope that that doesn't play too much of an effect when people are looking to bet their lines. But those are the keys to the game. I want to jump right into the Tanak. Who's your forecasting as a winner in your prop bets?
Prop bets. Yeah, so I have the two that I'm looking at specifically is going to be Patrick Mahomes over 6.5 rushing attempts, paying plus 125. He's had 7 and 11 in the 2 playoff games this year. And I have Saquon Barkley under 111.5 rushing yards, minus 110. As we alluded to before, the Chiefs have not allowed a 100-yard rusher this season.
And who are you picking?
Yeah, so there's no way I'm picking against Mahomes. And a few little stats here for you guys. As you did mention earlier, they are 9-0 with Taylor Swift in the building. She's obviously going to be there. The Chiefs are actually 3-0 versus the number 1 pass D in the playoffs. So they go up against the number 1 pass D and are 3-0 when they do. They are 7-0 in the postseason when the spread is 3 or less. Mahomes is 17-0 in in one-score games since 2023. So that's an insane stat. It's the 9th Super Bowl rematch, and teams that won the first game are 6-2 in the rematch. And so I think you know where I'm going with this. No chance I'm picking against Mahomes. I think they win. I don't know, final score, top of my head. My brain tells me like high scoring game, but I think it might be a little tighter this time. maybe something along the lines of like 27-24. But I think the Chiefs 100% win this game. There's no way I can pick against Mahomes. No way.
You bring up some very, very valuable statistics that I hope all of our listeners are paying attention to, because those are you can't ignore those ones. You really can't.
The 17-0 in one score games is the one that like really, that's insane.
The 3-0 versus number one defenses. That to me is
in the playoffs. Yeah.
But how does that work? So like the Bills were number one defense. The
No. All time when facing during their when facing the number one pass defense in a playoffs, they are 3-0.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
That's coaching, man. That's coaching and Mahomes right there.
Yeah, like, that's coaching and Mahomes.
Yeah, like there's no way like Spags is gonna dial something up late in the game when it's close, and if it's a close game, like I think we could all agree that the Eagles are not blowing them out, right? So right away you could eliminate, I feel like, that factor, and then 17-0 in one score games since 2023, like they don't lose close games. It just doesn't happen, and they were actually down by 10 in their last two Super Bowls in the fourth quarter and won. Like this team is just resilient and does not lose close games.
Resiliency is the right word. Resiliency is really the right word. When you're that good against one score games and you're down by 10 points in two back-to-back Super Bowls and you still win them, there's a no quit atmosphere with this team 100%. Yeah.
And it's crazy because the time of possession in the last Super Bowl was 35 minutes for the Eagles, 24 minutes for the Chiefs.
Bro, the Eagles
10 more minutes.
But even the Eagles played really well, man. In the last Super Bowl, they played like lights out, and like we alluded to before, Hurts played an amazing game.
Yeah,
like if the Eagles would have won, he was the MVP of that Super Bowl without a doubt.
And Mahomes also threw for under 200 yards that game, if I'm not mistaken, like 185 yards or something. Which
that first half was they played they really did not play well, and the Eagles defense had them, man. They just really played them tough, and they're just resilient. They never falter. They always think that they're in it, which, and obviously what memory shows us is they are in every game until the end.
Yeah, the AFC is going to run through Kansas City for years to come. Raj, we're going to jump on to you. Who's your winner and your prop bets for the Super Bowl?
So these are some prop bets that I kind of piggybacked off last year. They're a bit more funky. So there's 6 times in the Super Bowl era, guys, that there's been a non-QB to throw a touchdown. And we've had, since 2008, we had it done 3 times. So Trey Burton in Super Bowl 52, remember the Philly special? Joe Mixon in Super Bowl 56, and just last year, Juwan Jennings with the Niners. So one of my prop bets will be plus 1,100 that there's a non-QB to throw a TD. And if you take that a step further, you could specifically choose a non-QB to record a pass attempt, and it's plus 2,800 for Xavier Worthy. So just imagine a scenario where Xavier
you could pick the player too.
Yeah. Wow. Imagine a scenario where you could see Xavier Worthy coming around an end around, taking a handoff, and throwing a deep pass, whether it's to Mahomes or someone else.
Man,
back in 20, and one more thing, back in 2022 and 2023, Xavier Worthy at Texas had 1 pass attempt each year, one for 33 yards and one for 35 yards.
You know, I would not put it past the Chiefs to bring that one crazy play, and like that's the one. Like I'm definitely taking that action.
They've been opening up the playbook a lot in the last few games in the playoffs. And just to go back to Xavier Worthy for a second, like he obviously started off a little bit slow, right, in the regular season. If you look at his numbers towards the end, I think he had like 30% of all of his targets and receptions in like the last 4 games of the season. Like he's been
on a heater.
Yeah, he's been such a focal point of the offense. It's crazy, and it's right. You're not, Roger. That is not a horrible bet to place, to be honest with you, at all. Especially at that payout. Oof.
That's a good one. Xavier were plus 2,800. That's a good one.
People are paying off their credit card bills with that win.
Yeah. Again, I couldn't believe that it's when I saw that he's done a pass attempt, I could see I think someone's trying a Philly special again this year. We'll see. I think so, man. Another one that I've done in the past, I think the past like 8 or 9 Super Bowls, and it's only because of Super Bowl, I believe it was 47, between the Seahawks and Broncos. It was the first play of the game. There was a safety. I don't know why, but every year I bet on a safety happening. It's only happened once in the past 10 years, but it pays plus 900 for a safety. 9 times though in the Super Bowl, and as I mentioned, the last time was in Super Bowl 48, Seattle versus Denver, first play of the game. So it's one of those cheeky ones where plus 900, might as well throw a bit of money on it, but could see that happening with these amazing pass rushes that we have, to potentially depending on the field position.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you on that. The only thing I would probably these two teams don't seem like the type of teams to me that would give up that would give up a safety. I don't know. I just feel like they're better. They're better equipped than that. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
You would have said that. You would have said that about the 2014 Broncos with Peyton Manning.
You're right. And they gave up. Yeah, you're right. It's Super Bowl. Anything can happen, except for the Chiefs losing apparently. But
and just one last one, which I thought was interesting. So we saw how the Eagles struggled against Zach Ertz last game. I think he had over 100 and something yards. Noah Gray over 30 reception yards pays plus 350.
Yeah, I love that. I love Noah Gray getting involved in this game, and I love that as a sneaky bet that, like, whatever his overs are, touchdown, all that stuff, I'm fully on board with that. Fully on board with that. I think he's going to have a very quietly big part of the game. So, and your pick, Roger, for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. He's not picking against the Chiefs.
Honestly, I could not put a pick on paper because I feel this could be the year. This Eagles team is so damn good with that pass rush, the coaching, both sides of the ball. The coaching has been fantastic.
Yep.
Ah, God.
You got to pick one. We won't move on with the rest of the show until you pick one.
I'm gonna go Eagles, and I know it's against everything I've said. But I'd love to see Saquon winning one on his birthday, and most importantly, with Daniel Jones in attendance.
He's going to be on the field if he wins. He's going to be on the field if he wins. 100%. You better believe it. He's going to be on the field if he wins.
Will be the only time he'll be on the field when there's a Super Bowl victory. That's for sure.
Dude, imagine he lights it up in Minnesota. Don't even get out of here. Don't even.
Minnesota. He's a free agent.
No, he's still under contract.
No.
He's a free agent.
Yeah, signed a 1-year deal.
Oh.
It was the end of the year.
Yeah, he was cut, remember?
Yeah, he was cut and then signed a 1-year deal.
Right,
he's a free agent, 100%.
Yeah, he wasn't traded.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm hearing the Giants have interest in bringing him back.
Stop it. I heard the Giants might be getting Jameson Winston.
But guys, just for my pick, like, think back to that game, Super Bowl 57. Whose house were we at? Were we at your house, Fat?
What was the game?
The Eagles? Yeah, was it Marco?
Eagles.
It wasn't. Well, my house was last year, so it was the year before.
Yeah,
I think it was Nick.
Like the Eagles played,
or Marco.
I thought it was Marco.
It was Marco. Yeah, Marco's house.
The Eagles played a flawless game. Think about it. Hurts starting to come into his own. Defense is better. Smith, Brown still there. Fangio. Now they have Barkley, but they have Barkley now.
But they played a perfect game and they lost.
And they have Barkley now. That's Barkley's the only. If it's the same team without Barkley, I have no problem picking the Chiefs. But because of the history that they have in the previous Super Bowl, how dominant they've been this year, and Saquon Barkley, that completely swings the tide for me.
Yep. Again, very hard points to counter. Going to jump into my prop bets real quick. So I've been talking about Xavier Worthy a little bit. Want to keep that train rolling. I like him for an anytime touchdown. It's paying plus 150 right now. He scored 3 times in the last 4 games if you include the regular season. He's been completely involved in the offense. I think he's really obviously starting to get Patrick Mahomes' trust as well. So I think this is a very nice bet. And also Jalen Hurts' first touchdown score paying 550. I see the tush push happening right at the opening drive, and they set the tone right off the bat, and it gets going like that. Low key, real quick though, DeAndre Hopkins. This is the first time he's ever made the Super Bowl. He's obviously longer in the tooth than all the other wide receivers. Something makes me think that maybe Mahomes is going to get him a touchdown, make him feel extra special on this special night. So that's paying plus 500. And Nak, I know you mentioned you think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't know. I'm going with the over on this. I like the fact that the line moved down by 1 point. The over is paying minus 110. I don't think it's going to blow the over out of the water, but I can see something about like a 26 to 23 type of feel type thing. And as far as my pick, yeah, I went back and forth on this too. It's hard to go against all the trends that we spoke about, the 17-0, the 9-0 with Taylor Swift, and the 3-0 and the first place defense and all that. But it's a different team, and I have to go with the Eagles on this. I really feel like this team is built differently from top to bottom. I know you can't bet against Mahomes. I know. But trends exist, and eventually they will be broken. He can't go 17-0 and 18-0 and 19-0 against one-score games forever. Saquon Barkley playing on his birthday in the Super Bowl, I feel like that's going to give him so much energy and so much drive. I know it sounds cliche. Trust me. As I'm saying it, I'm like, oh, this sounds really freaking cliche. Yeah, but it's. And I'm a Giants fan. I don't even want to bet for the Eagles, but I feel like this makes sense to me. It really, really does. It really, really does. It's not the same team. They're built from top to bottom, all pros everywhere. Man, if the Chiefs do win this game against this Eagles team, like crown them as one of the best teams of all time, easily, as one of the best teams to ever put to be assembled on the field with the coaching staff, with everything. Yeah, I think this is for me the Chiefs. Like this is probably one of, if not the ultimate test in their time right now.
But I wouldn't be hard to even call them the best individual team of like from a year to year basis, because even the 2007 Patriots I feel were better from on paper, from a dynasty perspective as a whole, 100%. But like this team, like the amount of one score like. They haven't blown anyone out of the water, which is a testament to them. But
I feel like that's even more impressive to win in close fashion than blowing out teams.
That's true.
I don't know how many teams can say they got anywhere near 17 games in a row with one score games. I feel like that's crazier in and around itself. And I don't know, man. To pick the Eagles, like the Chiefs have the advantage at QB. They have the advantage at head coach. They have the advantage at DC. Man, and then like their defensive line is arguably just as tough as Philly's is. Like I feel like this is going to be a really, really good game. Like it's going to be, and that's why I'm thinking it's going to be low scoring, because I just feel like, man, it's going to be one in the trenches. This team is just both these teams are outstanding right now.
Yeah, Raj.
Fab, you mentioned Barkley first TD, I think.
No, I mentioned Jalen Hurts first TD.
Jalen Hurts first TD. So an interesting kind of, if you double up Hurts and Barkley for 2 TDs each, 20 plus 2,200.
That doesn't sound crazy.
And that's
wait, what? If you
Hurts, multi touchdowns for both Hurts and Barkley pays plus 2,200.
Oh yeah. 4 TDs between them would be insane.
You're looking at a minimum.
Crazy. That's 4 rushing touchdowns.
Like, that happened last game, points, right?
Like that happened against Washington. I'm not saying.
Yeah, they had 3 each against Washington, but it's Washington. It's not the Chiefs.
Jalen had 3 in Super Bowl 57. Tush push Just because you have a tush push doesn't mean you failed on from a run defense perspective, especially if you get that close to the goal line.
It's yes, I definitely agree. But that's 4 TDs.
Yeah, see that 4 TDs puts them automatically at 28 points. Do you think they're going to score 28 points against the Chiefs defense? That's a hard sell for me. But I don't hate that bet. I don't hate it. Anyways, so I guess we're gonna
It's
find out.
definitely an interesting one.
Yeah. So clearly, I'm picking the Eagles. We're we're gonna jump on to the next segment of this jam-packed podcast over here. Bold prediction. So basically, I mean, the title says it all. What's your bold prediction for the Super Bowl, Nak? What do you think is unlikely going to happen, but not out of the realm of possibility?
My bold prediction, is Travis Kelce to break Jerry Rice's postseason record. He needs 207 yards to do it. So that's my bold prediction. He gets 207 yards and is the Super Bowl 59 MVP.
That's bold AF right there.
How much does that pay for Kelce's Super Bowl MVP?
Oh, I don't know what it pays. That's just my bold prediction. It's pretty high.
I don't think so.
If I saw it, if I'm ever seeing it correctly, I think it's like plus 2,200 or something. It's high. It's quite high because you have obviously Mahomes, Barkley, and Hurts as like the front runners.
Yeah, for Kelce to win MVP, obviously it's on the shoulders of Mahomes, but he has to have a spectacular game for him to win MVP. But then by extension, so does Mahomes, right? So that
yeah, but I'm saying if he gets 207 yards, like that trumps whatever Mahomes is going to do. 207 yards from a tight end, he's 100% the MVP.
It's because Jerry Rice is held in such high regard as well.
Yeah,
true, very true. And Roger, you're held in high regard. What's your bold prediction?
Oh, thank you, Fab. So my pick is the Eagles, and I think if the Eagles win, and to Nak's point, keep it a low-scoring game, it might be a very defensive game. And there's been 9 out of the 57 Super Bowls have had defensive MVPs. The most recent have been Malcolm Smith and Von Miller. So my bold prediction is Jalen Carter. Let's call it 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a touchdown. Super Bowl 59 MVP. And the bet, if you want to put a bet on it, it pays plus 7,500.
7,500? That's going to pay for people's weddings. Yeah, so mine is a little bit more plain vanilla than you guys. I was just going to go with Saquon Barkley as my Super Bowl MVP. Kind of on the heels of him having a spectacular game, helping the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
That's your bold prediction?
It's bold because, quite honestly, like having a running back win, having a non-quarterback win the MVP is pretty rare.
It's a bit unbold.
Yeah,
it's been a while. I think Terrell Davis was the last one to have that happen.
The last non-quarterback that I can remember, I think was Julian. Wasn't it Julian Edelman?
Running back.
Running back. Running back. Yeah, running back has been a while, but I'm saying non-quarterback. Or non-offensive player that is also not a quarterback. So, yeah, I just feel like the stars are going to align for the guy, and he's just another nail in the coffin for the spectacular season that he's had while not putting on the Giants jersey. So,
I can't find the MVP odds.
It's 1,600 plus 1,600 for Kelce.
For Kelce, okay, there you go. It's quite high.
So those are some bold predictions that we have. And now we're going to jump into a very interesting segment. We got some rapid fire, silly prop bets. Some are silly, some are not. But we all know the Super Bowl is a wonderful time of year where people who don't usually bet start betting on stuff that don't really make sense. So we're going to go through a few of these over here now. We're going to have some fun with them. So the first one I set up over here. So will any player or coach cry during the national anthem? Yes is paying 115. No is paying 115. I mean, bear in mind now, Sirianni did cry during the national anthem in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Andy Reid definitely won't. He's been there too often. Doesn't really care.
He probably cries again, Sirianni.
Yeah, I think so. You know who I think he's going to cry? Big Dom.
No Sean Moreno.
No Sean Moreno. Those don't even look like tears. It was a waterfall.
It looked like CGI.
It looked fake.
It was gross. This is the type of prop bet you put like $1,000, like 3,000, because like,
dude, I'm not touching this prop bet with a 10-foot goal. We're going on the next one there. How many players will have a passing attempt? I think this is more up your field, up your lane there, Roger. Over 2.5.
He's definitely taking the over.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Over 2.5 is paying 155. Under 2.5 is paying 210. So basically, is it going to be a pass attempt that's going to be created by somebody who's not a quarterback?
Yeah, for sure.
Drake Super Bowl curse. We all know how our Canadian boy, our little boy from Toronto over there, he likes to represent the wrong teams all the time. So whenever he does put up one of his bets on his social medias, make sure you go the opposite direction. So which team do you think he will be representing this week?
Did he not bet the Chiefs last year?
I don't recall. I just know that more often than not, the guy's wrong lately.
Yeah, I don't agree. I definitely agree with you there, but I think he picked the Chiefs last year.
I might pick the Chiefs again this year because they're paying 170. The Eagles are paying 130.
You pick the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would pick the Chiefs. This was a nice one. Got some stats to back this up too. So the number of beers sold, over 120,000 or under 120,000. Under 120,000 is paying negative 150. Over is paying negative 115. Bear in mind, the Superdome has a capacity of 76,465 people.
Basically, I've been to New Orleans, and you definitely bet the over.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Like you 100% bet the over.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 beers per person.
It's less,
and like
it's like 1.8 per person, right on that.
Yeah, it's I don't know how they calculate that. Like how are you gonna have to like
those numbers are too low.
Bank that they're gonna give you those statistics and like to win the bet either way.
There
was 157,296 beers. You know, like how are we gonna get the real stats on this?
Oh, I'm sure they're going to come out at the end of the game, just like everything else. Like they have like the amount of chicken wings consumed by the entire population of the United States that can probably sink a small country. You know, like.
Fab, if it goes over, you have to sing the "How Many Beers on the Wall" song.
I will.
Up until 120,000.
We could live stream it from Knack's house on Sunday. Oh, by the way, guys, the Bush League
Huddle is going to be singing till the morning.
100%. Bush League Huddle is celebrating the Super Bowl at Knack Arado's residence this Sunday. It's going to be good.
Come one, come all. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, put your address out there. Oh. The next
at the corner of no.
Find a map and no. Number 5. How many times will Taylor Swift be shown live throughout the game? Over, under 5.5. Over.
I wish I would have known how. I think it wasn't that much last year. It wasn't as much as we thought last year.
I think you're right. Actually, now that I said the over, I think I take that back.
I don't know if she was shown a lot last year.
Well, she's definitely going to be shown throughout every single major Travis Kelce reception. Like if he hits like a 30-yard reception, they're going to show.
Yeah, it's going to depend how good of a game he has.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. I'm going to go the over. I like to see Taylor Swift.
Huh. Will a kicker hit the upright or crossbar on a missed field goal or extra point?
Yes.
Yes is paying 330. No is paying
plus 330 is beautiful for that.
No is paying minus 500. This is a nice bet. I like
Elliott. Hasn't Elliott been
Elliott has missed, and I think he's hit the crossbar or the side.
He hasn't been automatic.
He's hit the upright in the postseason. So I would bet that he would do that again.
Yeah, you almost have to wonder if the kickers are going through something like Justin Tucker.
Oh man,
jeez!
You have your new target.
Well,
target acquired.
He definitely doesn't have a target because he's missing all of his field goals. Well, maybe he's getting.
I think you're going to say something. He's missing something else.
He's getting them.
Maybe we move to the next prop.
Prop number 7. Who will the Super Bowl MVP thank first? There's a few over here. The teammates are paying 3-2. The coach is paying 12-1. Family's paying 12-1. God is paying 3-1. The owner is paying 12-1. I would laugh if the owner gets thanked first. It doesn't thank anyone. It's paying 5-2.
Where's the fans?
Nah, it's a good one. Not there.
Where's John Mara?
I'm gonna obviously say it has to be God.
I think God, but I like teammates that are 3-2. I like that a lot. Now everyone's favorite, the Super Bowl anthem. The over-under right now is set at 120.5 seconds.
Who's singing it?
Is it, what's her name? McIntyre?
Reba McEntire?
McIntyre? Isn't it Reba McIntyre?
She's the one singing it?
I believe so.
Over.
Yeah, I'm calling the over on this too. The over is negative 142. And the under is the under
is John Baptiste.
Who?
John Baptiste.
I know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
He's you know the show on HBO Euphoria?
Where'd you get Reba McEntire then?
I saw her face somewhere. You know the show Euphoria? He put together the score for that show.
Oh, okay.
So the last the anthem hasn't been over 120.5 seconds in Super Bowl 51. So it's been 8 years.
Time to buck the trend. Again, it's just so hard to like calculate this. You know, that's why these are bets I don't like.
This bet is like, you know when does it start? When does it really finish? Like, there's always, do you count the applause after and before and all that stuff? Like how?
Well, yeah, I don't think you count the applause, but
if it's a brother with some flair, it's going over actually, because you know they're
yeah, exactly. That's why I thought Reba McEntire would have been.
White anthem singers, it's very to the point. It's like there's no like extra like flair to it.
Roger's basically saying that we don't have any flavor to us. Thank you.
That's racist.
I got some spice on my wings. Okay, I like this one.
Yeah, black pepper.
Black. Yeah. Well, hey, at least it's black. I don't put no white pepper.
Oh my God.
Lemon pepper my wings, okay? All right.
Oh boy.
Number 9. It's always running in Philadelphia. I thought this was hilarious. The Eagles to record 281 plus rushing yards, which would be a Super Bowl record. It's a win only. It's yes. It pays 1,600. 281 rushing yards. I mean, the likelihood of this happening.
Yeah, there's no way.
But I don't know.
No way.
$5 on this just for fun.
No way.
The next few are more realistic, I think. Jalen Hurts, 300 plus passing and rushing yards and 3 total touchdowns.
Wow.
Paying plus 1,000.
I'm putting money on that.
Yeah, it seems like almost surefire. But like,
I like it.
That's crazy. That's plus a thought. Like he did that.
It's the Chiefs, man.
I know, but he did that already.
Like, he did that against the Chiefs.
You think it'd go a little bit less because he's already done that.
Yeah, it's 2 years ago.
I think the 3 total touchdowns might be a little bit harder to come by, just because of Saquon Barkley being there. But the 300,
it's not like you look at it and you're like, oh, it's a thing, but like there's a reason why it's is minus 2,200. You know?
Yes, 100%.
Like it's not impossible. That's totally doable. Like especially if they're going to be down or whatever. But
I put $5 on that.
Yeah, I like the $5. I like the $5 bet on that.
I believe it's under the Swifty specials.
Just do like 1 or 2 line bets. Like don't do like.
No, I'm not doing parlays.
Like 11.
I can't win parlays.
11 same game.
I do a lot of singles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, singles.
It's just it's so much.
Last year, I think I won like $800. It was nice.
It was a nice Super Bowl. It's so exciting when you have 8 legs. It's probably even more exciting when they come through. I don't know what that's like, but just saying, it's so exciting when you have all.
I did one that Sal Vitri. Is it Vitri?
Yeah, Vietri, I think.
Yeah, he had one. It was like $20 to win like 2,000, and I'm just like, okay, I'll just take this one as my fun one. And then, it's going to be all singles for sure.
Yeah. My account got ripped apart this year. That's okay. Number 11, Chiefs to come from behind and take the lead in the fourth quarter. They have done so in both previous Super Bowl wins. So third time's a charm, maybe? Yes.
I like that.
200. No,
nicely.
minus 250. The fact that they've done so in the last 2 Super Bowls, it makes me more of a leaner towards yes than no, that's for sure. Either team to attempt a fake punt. Yes, plus 1,800. No, minus 15,000.
Yeah, this is
fake punts. The last time I can remember a fake punt, I think it was Sean Payton did it with the Saints versus I forget who they played against.
Colts.
The Colts. That's the last time. And the
fake punt, or that was the onside kick.
Or was it the onside kick? You're right. It was the onside.
That was a surprise onside kick to start the second half.
That's right. So then I don't recall.
I don't know in the Super Bowl when there's been a fake punt.
Would be hell of a bet to win.
Well, minus 15,000. I'm pretty sure they're pretty certain that's not happening.
Yeah, odds like that. Eagles to score first and Chiefs to win the game. This I like. Yes, plus 3.
Yeah, that's my favorite one so far.
No minus.
I like that one a lot.
I see this happening. I really, really do. And the last one over here, Roger, this is a special for you. Plus 1,400, Chiefs walk-off field goal win. I mean, we just spoke about Harrison Butker a little second ago, but if he does not pull a Justin Tucker, who knows?
So that's the thing. The walk-off, he had a walk-off Super Bowl 57. There was 8 seconds. Does it, if there's time left?
No, that's not a walk-off.
Exactly.
Walk-off
so it has
is
to
when
be
it's at 0.
It has to be as time expires.
As time expires. Yeah,
That's a walk-off.
He did it
or in overtime.
In overtime.
Yes.
That would also be a walk-off. Has to be, let's say the Eagles get the ball first, they don't score, and the Chiefs come back, kick a field goal. That's a walk-off too. That would count.
Very true. So guys, those are our parlay bets. A little fun stuff for you. A little bit of a amuse-bouche as you actually make your real bets, like the ones we mentioned before. Oh man, but Super Bowl is going to be fun. 59 already. I remember when Super Bowl 50 rolled around. That's already been 9 years since. And next year, Super Bowl 60.
I remember Super Bowl 40. That was a memorable one.
Super Bowl 42. Yeah, it's.
I guess the Steelers one.
Yeah, that was the one where like
Jerome Bettis is from Detroit.
That was that whole playoff run was like when we had an actual offensive coordinator and Wesson Hunt. Antoine Randall threw a touchdown pass to Hines Ward in that Super Bowl.
Oh, that Super Bowl. I thought
Willie Parker 76-yard run to start the second half. Like, yeah, it was just beautiful.
We almost made it, Fab.
Yeah,
almost made a pod without the Steelers.
We were. This is the longest it's been though. This is like 46 minutes now, 47 minutes. This is definitely the longest it's been where there was a proper Pittsburgh Steelers reference where we went into like the depths of the history of it. Yeah, this is.
But I thought you were talking about. Listen, I thought you were referring to the. You remember the Super Bowl Steelers against Seahawks in Detroit? They couldn't stop with the fact that Jerome Bettis was from Detroit. It was like.
Oh yeah, we knew it was going to be. It was nauseating.
It was. We watched that one in unison.
Wow, was I there?
I believe so. Yeah. Were you there? No.
No, I've never watched. I've only ever watched Super Bowls at people's homes. Ever since
I was out for that Super Bowl,
Guido has been doing his Guido Bowl, as he calls it, like 20 years ago. It started where he always had everybody.
I was with another crew.
Yeah, I was as well.
It was before this wonderful period in your life when we're involved.
It was 2005, man. It was high school graduation year.
Years ago. Wow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Jeez.
And there it is, guys. Listen, well, guys, thanks for listening. Enjoy the big game and be sure to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. What am I missing? TikTok and all the social medias out there where you're going to have us.
Blue Sky.
Enjoy the Super Bowl weekend. Enjoy the time with your friends. Enjoy the game. And listen, you guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us and we appreciate that. Roger, cue the music.
Sorry, lost the music for a second.
It's okay. Still works out.
What?
The Eagles, eh? You guys are all on the Eagles. You sickos.
I don't know, man.
You sickos.
When you have that many
Patrick Mahomes.
You think it's ironic that the two
you got to practice your Eagle, Raj.
The two Giants fans pick the Eagles?
It's more of a hawk, I guess.
You better pick the Eagles when you're picking the scores on Sunday.
I've had my score for a week now, and it is the Eagles, actually.
Good. It better be, or else I'm not taking them.
See you guys at Radio Row.
I wish.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.